Planet Cheekbones, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing? Doing alright today? Right. Unlike the others, none has Zach's kindness, Rebecca's patience, nor the sincerity in Isabella's eyes. One day, these guys are just there. Next thing I know, being with them eases it. The heavies. King of Lynch. Or LA Noor. I already played LA Noor. And I don't have King of Lynch. Don't have prototype either. That matter. That heavy, sombre feeling lingering in the air. You stand alone in your apartment. Or something as simple as spending your day off without anyone. I'll say it's loneliness. But this carries much more depth than that. If I can help it, I don't want to lose any of them. Some stupid curse. Phone call may be the least comforting thing at the moment. Honestly, I prefer being in the same room with them right now. I'll take what I can get. Becca first. She'll get angry at me. Worrying about her isn't some helpless damsel in distress after all. Isn't the shy little girl I knew when we were children. We're already far from the people we were back then. But that's more than enough reason to check in on her. I don't have to imagine her taking anything head on. She'll do it, instead of asking for help when she needs it. I don't care if she gets mad at me. Only to know that she's fine. A ring. The silence of the hallway. Sounds alone. Might as well be sharp enough to peer through my ears. Another second passes. 2, 3. But when on the 9th ring, it goes straight to her voicemail. The cold feeling instantly lodges in my stomach.
You've reached my voicemail. Sorry if I can't get to you right now. Oh, and if this is Isabella, yes, you're free to reheat the food in my fridge. Otherwise, leave a message.
Probably you're busy, that's all. So I still barely manage to keep my voice even when I speak.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
Becca will be alright. It's alright. She's safe. She's with someone else. And when that woman shows up, she'll have someone with her. Someone she'll be able to ask for help. She's safe. Can handle herself. Becca might have a fiery temper, but she knows when she's faced with something she can't handle herself. Hello, lol you, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing today? Doing alright? Rebecca will see my missed call and she'll call me back. Though I don't express it enough, Rebecca is someone I consider important to me. She's been my friend for the longest. Far too long than anybody else will have been fed up with me and left. Get here. The girl stuck by me, no matter how big of a jerk I've been. There's Zach and Isabella now, two of girls. Always be thankful for having them around. The worst time before, however, Becca was there. No one believes it when I say it, but I actually had my awful moments as a bratty kid and a horrible teen. The horrible teen. Issues, I have too many of them to count and refuse to deal with for a time. At least that's what Andrew likes to tell me. I tend to think nothing of it, as it mellowed down over the years, thanks to the professor mostly. But at times I do wonder if it still burdens me the way it did all those years ago. After all, it was terrible, especially around the time of my parents' separation. Looking back at it now, I had no reason to direct all my frustration towards everyone else. Well, I wasn't the kid who lashed out at anyone, preferring to keep it to myself and turning those negative feelings into more protective things. I grown distant from a lot of people because of it. From my old friends back in my old school, the neighbors I hung out with before moving. A habit I likely brought with me into adulthood. I was just so angry with everyone and everything. All I keep thinking about was myself, wondering, why me? In retrospect, I was selfish. A little bastard who thought the world revolved around me. I shouldn't have been going through it. Believed my behavior was entitled, that I had the right. Tough time, but she stuck with me. Snapped me out of my little sulk. She often phrases it. Whenever she sees the chance to bring it up. She didn't tolerate my bullshit, but she didn't leave me alone either. If anything, the whole thing made her stick around. Her concern may have grown a bit overbearing as the years went by, but she's still an old friend nevertheless. I owe her a lot. That won't change.
Damn it. Where are you, Becca?
Another message left on her voicemail. Then on my third call, I hang up. For the time being, I can't do anything more than to wait for her to return my calls. Worrying aimlessly won't get me anywhere. Zack, on the other hand, that guy attracts trouble no matter how much he tries to avoid it. Doesn't help how he hasn't been too hot lately with a lot of people. His mention of plans yesterday doesn't sit too well with me either. He might be next responsible adult after Rebecca. Out of the four of us, but I still got the check on the big guy. Make sure he's doing alright, at the very least, whatever he has planned on doing. All I'm asking is for it to not be idiotic. He's a sensible guy, I'm sure. However, desperation clings and pushes people to do things. Rational or irrational, doesn't matter. Clear thinking flies out the window the moment you're in danger. I sincerely hope he has not found himself in a tricky situation. The phone doesn't even ring before he answers. Or his voicemail, at least.
Hey, it's Zach. Well, a voicemail anyway. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, just leave a message, yeah? And no, Ash, you're not allowed to lockpick your way into my apartment again. Just do what any other decent human being does and call if I'm not around. Thanks.
Did he turn it off? Why? I don't want to assume the worst yet. Maybe he has forgotten to charge it. Can be. The guy can be a bit of a Boy Scout. Even when I'm not. Even more than I am as a cop. He's the type who has extra battery or power bank in his bank if he ever needed it. He always does. Won't say anything or brag about it, but he got quite a ruse of why VIP freelance clients. He won't just leave his phone dead because he's on the field, particularly when people will likely be looking for him. He always leaves his connection open whenever clients or his friends need him, like he's reliable like that.
Why isn't anyone answering?
The mobile is in an out-of-range area, sounds more plausible, although the thought of it doesn't completely shake off the unease. Unlike Rebecca and I took the time to listen to what Isabella said. And even if he didn't believe it, was definitely the first one to offer help, try to do something. It's one guy I know, gaming, welcome to the stream, mate. Oh, what are you doing? Doing alright, man. If he ends up trouble doing whatever it is, so help me, I'm going to... Well, I can't be rash. I'm aware of that. You're running the same reminder in my head since last night. But if something happens, I'm certain my reaction won't be pretty. Added guilt from those times I repeatedly dismissed him will surely haunt me.
Yo, Zach, call me back, alright? I wanted to check in and, yeah, just please call me back.
It's usually a joke between us, and I say he's the Watson, my Sherlock. I'm doing good, just munching chocolate and high. Well, might make popcorn. Good old Mariana. They old smoke weed every day. I don't see him as some assistant to put aside till he's needed, like some people like to believe, though. It's not some pity friend I keep around to make myself look
If
good.
anything, he's the one who stayed by me out of pity.
Zach's the one who puts up with me the most of the time, even when he doesn't need to. It's not the case of a cool cop who helps out a minority. In truth, I was hard-headed, hot-tempered, reckless rookie up until I met him. Wasn't anything sudden. Some part of me is still that rookie. And I grown thanks to him. He tempers that part of me. Considering how our first impression went, I'm lucky he stuck around. Like and I may have spent a lot of years together as children. Zach, he's probably the closest thing I'll call to a best friend. But it's more than that. Camaraderie, the words can impress. He has my back, always have his. He's a brother I never had the luck of ever having. Only child and all.
And I have every reason to worry about my brother.
Becca's neighbor did say she went out to meet someone. Those specific names. If I'm wrong, she's not with Professor Clark, then maybe it's with Zach. They've never been close. But it's not the kind of awkward friendship we're meeting together. Remains out of the question. Regardless, I continued dialing his phone. For his phone. Another 3 times. We have done with Rebecca's. In the end, after the third attempt, with no one answering, stop and move, got called a ragged exhale.
Waiting game it is then.
Punching. Yeah, there's a lot of choices you can make in this game. A lot of choices. Holy shit. Holy mother of God. When does it stop? Here. Like with this. You made a lot of shit here. Yeah. I've been trained for those. Hell, I'm used to them. Just not when it comes to people I'm close to. Much as I keep reminding myself to maintain a level head, it's a whole different matter when it's someone you know. Personal feelings will likely get involved at some point. Starting now. Actually, with the ancient feeling, strings pulling and uncoiling, as a racket inside my stomach. That's exactly when the line finally connects. Before he even speaks, my question has already slipped out, including every pent-up worry and tension in my body.
Where are you?
The line's choppy, so I can still make out the words he's saying, not to worry about them. It's just some place where network coverage is shitty. Can you imagine where at this time of the morning though? Did he go out for a jog?
What was that, Ash? Could you repeat that? Signal shitty here.
I asked, where are you? Hell, Zach, I've been calling your number for a good 20 minutes now. What kind of shithole did you get into?
I meant that to sound as friendly as possible. To keep things light. At least instead of only frustration shoves in my tone.
Good morning to you, too. I should be asking you that question. I've been looking all over the mansion for you. I thought you'd be...
What mansion?
Do I really need to answer that?
Why are you even...
Oh, please don't tell me that's his plan. A morning visit to the mansion where Luke Wright is. Of all the pig-headed things to do right now, it's the best thing he can come up with. Breaking and entering. I got a plenty of reason to rail at him right now. Although no matter how much I want to give him a piece of my mind, unfortunately, it's not the time.
No, wait. Just get your ass to Isabella's place and hurry.
He pauses a moment, taking of indecision, but he seems to contemplate his options.
How urgent is this?
In truth, the question, the hesitance, the indecision in his voice shocked me complete off guard. No understanding dawns on me. His decision to go there isn't one of the stupid impulse. He must have found something. However, no matter how urgent it is, he shouldn't have gone there alone, that is. Find myself. That split second of comprehension. I allow it to show a weakness. Simply request. Brimming with every unease and disquiet, causing turmoil within me since last night. There's a selfish hope that he'll understand, even though the unstable signal that whatever is keeping him there, he'll be willing to set it aside for now.
Pressing enough for you to stop asking questions and get yourself here. Please, Zach.
Silence fills the other end of the line again. For a long moment. Random Gaming! Welcome to the stream, mate! How are you doing? Doing alright? I assume he won't hear it, and I'll have to drive there myself, just to drag him away from whatever danger he's skirting. Thankfully, he agrees.
I'll be there in a few. An hour or two tops.
Thanks. I'll see you.
Relief washes over me as soon as the call ends. Normally I don't let myself a moment of respite in times like this. To say alert. Well, I don't know. The number says that it's only you here. Rebecca's still out there, yet to return any of my messages. But for the moment, I relish in it. This is probably the first time I've permitted myself to do since last night. Even the muscle in my shoulder have been complaining from all the tension I've taken on. It still annoys me that all I can do right now is grit my teeth and rush back to Isabella's apartment. Yeah, the thing is, Brandon Gaming, No, but I'm not hungry. But I'm gonna tell you something that sometimes some games no one want to watch me play those games. But I have been look. I've been playing this game for a long time, but never actually finished it. So I decided, well, I'm soon at the end, so I'm gonna finish it anyway. But not a lot of people want to watch this. And after this game, I will play Pandora livestream. What do you mean play Mandora livestream? What the heck is a Mandora? Mandora. I cannot play mobile games. I don't have a mobile to play it in. But anyway, after this game I will play GTA 5. Maybe a lot of people will see it, maybe no one wants to see it. It's been requested a lot to play GTA 5. I will play it. Useless. That's what I am in the face of this. Mad as I run Luxborn and Anselm isn't going to help things. It's not like I'm simple stumble across them on the side of the road during a drive. It is too big a place for one person to search for only 2 people. Be lucky if even a glimpse the hair of either of them. I've never heard of Mandora, so I don't know what it is. With one last hopeful glance towards the open sky, I slip back into Isabella's apartment, close the door behind me. I might have already grown used to this, but the waiting will always be the hardest part. More so, these people you care about.
You're up early. I thought you left.
Not here. Oh man. It is not the first time I've seen Isabella like this. Standing casually by her kitchenette, a ladle in hand, keep an eye on whatever it's doing on the stove, while humming a soft tune under her breath. 5 years ago, it has become a common sight after the 3 of them, including Zach and Rebecca, found an unusual interest in cooking. Alright. And that, whenever our schedule allows it, one of them will invite everyone to dinner or lunch, instead of eating out. Rebecca prefers it that way, healthier, she claims. Zach's just too happy to able to cook for everyone. Isabel on the other hand, as long as there's food, she's happy. Me? I've been banned from the kitchen ever since the pressure cooking incident. Easier times, good times. Ah, well record, eh? Right now, however, the scene brings an odd sense of normalcy. A strange fit with all the things going on around us. Not unwelcome, only bizarre, suppose. Isabella doesn't follow up on her question earlier, but she does raise an eyebrow my way when I take too long to answer. For that, I only offer a casual shrug in response and a short answer.
I've checked with Zach and Rebecca. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
I'll add in a quib or 2 for her. Timing for the joke isn't off, for doing so won't be inappropriate. I don't want to alarm her either. There's no reason to yet. Till Zach gets here or until I receive an answer from Rebecca, whichever comes first. Nevertheless, there she has plenty of questions. Right there, in the subtle crease between her eyebrows, and the inquisitive gleam in her eyes. What do you mean with the thumbnail? Curious as she is, so decide against voicing all her question out. What's wrong with the thumbnail? Then she shifts her attention back to the stove. She gestures vaguely with her hand in Cat's direction.
Well, if we're going to wait for them, don't stand around there. It's getting distracting.
You're just cooking. How am I distracting?
I don't know. Something might explode again, maybe. Zach's kitchen ban for you is also in effect here, you know. Now shoo, go. Stop hovering. You'll ruin the food. I'll be done here soon.
Because it's a horror game, okay? She leaves no room for an argument of swatting the ladle at me. And just like that, I'm being kicked out of the kitchen. Yes. If I save. Go to the menu. I go to see geese. Some of the pictures I've seen. Yeah. That kind of thing. And that's the horror part of it. Left with nothing else to do. I drifted back to her tiny living space and slumped down on the couch. Closing my eyes, I allowed the noise from the television to guide my thoughts. The ones I've been keeping at bay, freeing them from the cage I built around them, so I won't have to think. Yes, smile like that, eh? One by one. It trickled back into my consciousness. Each more frightening and unnerving than the other. So many things going on. So many things happening. Papers we gotten from BRC doesn't provide any comfort either. Seriously, is there even a point to those after last night? What will asking those people do? If anything, it's only proved there might be more copies. That dumb piece of paper. We have one here. How many exactly is there out there? More importantly, how do we get out of this stupid mess?
Ashton.
Damn it! I haven't felt this kind of bone-wear exhaustion in years.
I don't want to think what might happen next in case I miss something. Shit.
Rebecca, Zach, Isabella.
They're all depending on me, and
I want you to sleep. That's why I'm streaming this game. But when you come over here, you'll sleep. After this game, I will play GTA 5, which is a lot more exciting, a lot more fun. This voice snapped me out of my thoughts, abruptly wiping away everything running a racket inside my head. Suddenly, Isabella there crushed in front of me when I crack an eye open. I haven't even noticed the exact moment when I bent over and buried my head in my hands. Well, there's not a lot of horror games out there that is good. I've barely seen any good horror games out there that I haven't played. I haven't been noticed the exact moment when I'm bent over. Figures why she's staring at me like I'm fainted or something. Crease on her eyebrow grows deeper at my lack of response. Although she's merely staring at me, without saying a word, expression says everything. So much for trying not to alarm her with bad news.
Sorry, I just spaced out for a moment. Don't mind me.
For a brief moment, she seems to accept that. Quietly, she shifts, stands up and takes the empty space right beside me. All done with a single comment, and the next thing I know, she's gently pushing a bowl in my hand. Scent reaches me first, before I got the chance to take in what she just handed me. Faint sweet smell of cocoa wafted from the dish. Calming, comforting, quite a multitude of things bothering me. Suddenly smells like the kind of food you'll eat on a rainy day. Mehmet Mert, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing? Doing alright, though from the get-go it doesn't look as appetizing. What is this even? Porridge? While you put chocolate in it, the milk drizzled on top. Tells me my tastes are weird, yet there she is, handing me something equally as strange. In fact, she already started digging in hers. I'm not sure the taste will be equal as appealing. Baffled, I glance her way. She offers no immediate answer, simply continues eating as if she hasn't done so in a week. Is her focus all on the television? That looks like champorado in my country. I'm fine, my Russian friend. How are you? My comrade, I'm very good. I heard about the Battle of Stalingrad. And the Russian won the Stalingrad, the bloodiest battle of the Second World War. Wait, did I miss something? He's not watching, however, he's listening. As a background noise, voices from the 8 seems to be too cheerful. A welcome distraction, if anything. Oh. It's only after she finished half of the ball. Does she acknowledge the question in my eyes? With a sigh, she cradles the dish on her lap and looks down at it. Briefly, on her lips parted, then closes. I hesitate as the eyes on the purser. There's a distant air on her, as she has remembered something that warrants a poignant thought. When she speaks at last, it's in a tone too careful, like she's still waiting her words, considering the proper phrasing for it. Yet sincerity underlines its lullaby. What's the already in the open?
You should eat. Back at home, Mama would never let us leave the house if we hadn't eaten breakfast yet. Even Papa has got an earful when he tried.
A different language.
So eat. You'll need it.
She returns the food for the word. While I only can stare at the one she has proffered not a few minutes ago, warm against my hand, tempting me to take a bite. Not that I don't appreciate this, but what good will this do? Jack and Rebecca's both out there. Who knows when that ghost will show up again? Oh, the ghost! What is the purpose of the game? In our dreams, we are not safe. The purpose is to survive. The purpose of the game is finish the game, get out of the curse we have put on ourselves on, and survive through the curse so we can survive in another day. There's a ghost that haunts us and wants to kill us. We have to survive. But that's it, isn't it? We don't know when, and at the present, we have a chance to respite, even the only one we'll have. Even if it's as mundane as sharing food between us, Quietly, you're sitting side by side like this, without exchanging any words. What do you mean, Cell? I mean, survive from the curse. Boy, the intent hangs unspoken in the air. Something that probably goes as far back as the second offered food. Still, in the end, Isabella never pushes it. Rather, she let her own silence convey her hope. Shall we eat the thing she got on us? Well, it's rude not to eat her food.
Thank you.
Oh, relationship status updated. Oh my. The words roll off my tongue. Awkward, unfamiliar. Far removed from those yes and quips shared. Yet, they accept it with a smile, nothing more. Regardless of everything left unsaid, the sight of it brings comfort. More than any generous offer of food can give. Though we both lapse into silence after. We finish our food. They're easy in it. In this, muffled sound of the Luxborn filtering into the room. The light streaming from her windows. The faint draft occasionally drifting in, catching these loose tendrils of her hair. In the way of her voice falters, and she tries to form words. Despite the horror looming over us, I find myself wishing the minutes to slow, the second to last. Ultimately, it's the one who breaks it, softly after a minute's pause, and words mumbled under her breath. Sometimes silence simply compels us to speak.
I've been wondering, you know, before last night, before Mama told me the news, what if Papa passes away, despite everything? That sort of thing. I know it's not good to think about, but I also knew it was getting worse. Mama won't say anything, but I've always known that one day, he'll eventually...
Osio! Osio! It releases a sigh. The grip on the bowl she holds tightens. There are no tears. She might as well have them with how weak her voice falls. Are there even any left?
I don't know what I'm going to do. Before, I can easily say it's because of Papa. Now, I don't have anything.
You have that scholarship from LuxU.
Were you going through my personal papers while I was sleeping last night?
I don't really have to. You left it sitting in the open. Right there on the table.
Like there's still anything to hide. She snatches it away from me. I placed it back earlier. Except there's no anger or annoyance in her face when she looks at it and rereads every line with a pensive expression. In a short while, she folds it neatly along the creases and sets it back.
I don't even know if this will work out.
Well, if it doesn't, what about that exhibit you've been planning with Zach?
Do I even have to ask where you got that?
Zach sucks at lying. You have no idea how easy he is to read. It was all in his face when I asked about it. And anyway, if that doesn't pan out too...
I trail off, hesitating, measuring the weight of my next words. Genuine as they are, part of me believes they are a burden, too heavy to impose upon her. Because no matter how much I want her to stay, you're not what ties her here. I'll be selfish to ask that of her, more than anything. Her family will always come first. I say it, nevertheless, only to let her know that no matter what her choice will be, there will be people here whose lives her mere presence has changed. Mine, most of all.
You have us.
The words startled her to a pause. As slowly she turns to me, her eyes wide, disbelief all over her face. But before regret forces an apology up my throat, her expression dissolved to something I can quite place. Something distinctly softer, more tender. I like tender meat. Familiar, Almost in the same manner she glanced at me a few years ago, that day at the bridge. However, I don't get the chance to figure out what it all means for her. All of a sudden, a knock breaks the moment. We set fast, before our attention shifts towards the source. Before things can get awkward fast, I stand up to open the door while muttering some flimsy excuse in the process.
I'll get that. It's probably Zach or Rebecca.
Really? I know we're in a pinch, but their timing can't get any worse. Unrelated frustration aside, once I fling the door open, a whole chunk of the stone that has been stuck in the pit of my stomach simultaneously unseats itself. Here in the hallway stands Zach, his hand raised ready for another knock. Although he's not at his most presentable at the moment, ruffled, drenched in sweat. As he is, relief quickly washes over me like a tide. Still panting, he pushes me aside and heads in. Thickens his feet crosses the threshold, scans the place, eyeing what little he can see of the room and the doorway. He finds none of whatever he's looking for, turns to me with a questioning look, one that has a hint of panic in it.
You said it was urgent. Did anything happen? Is it Becca? Bella?
Everyone's fine. Well, Becca's not here. She went somewhere this morning and hasn't answered any of my calls yet. But Isabella's...
I'm here, Zach. Morning.
He waves shift at the same time, the stiff line in his shoulder eases. Once Isabella walks up to us and welcomes him with a smile. He relaxes then, returns her greeting in kind. Soon as he has let out breath, he has been holding the tension finally off his body.
So, nothing's wrong? Why'd you call me here for then?
My explanation can wait. He has a lot of explaining to do. The fact that he went to Aslam alone, for some godforsaken reason, warrants a proper one. Ghost or not, he already be giving a warning. Frustrate me to no end. This might be a plan he mentioned last time we spoke. I get that he's worried about Hannah Wright. Somehow they become friends, but that's not the issue here. Not when there's a murderous ghost who might go after one of us at any given time. Sure, Zack made it here in one piece by some dumb luck. It's alright, and he takes one of the list of people I need to worry about. Frankly, as annoyed as I am, I can't just stay angry at him when I look at the situation that way. Hell, if that call didn't connect in that exact minute, there might have been a chance he won't be standing here. This is a blessing in itself. Except when I open my mouth. And when I open my mouth, the only thing that spills from it is my own relief. Despite myself, despite the irrational part of my brain screaming everything wrong about Zack's neat little plan. I had so many close calls within just a single night. Zack showing up in Isabela's doorstep alive, whole and unharmed. I might well take comfort even at that while I still can.
You're okay.
You did tell me not to do anything stupid.
Suddenly the whole room feels too heavy, and all I am able to do is drop down the couch. Headache also threatens burst in the same moment, or perhaps this is what release from anxiety feels like. Regardless, I reach up a hand, pins a breeze on my nose. Even if it'd like to do nothing to alleviate impending pain.
Christ, you were right there! We have this stupid curse thing going on, and you were right there! You just walked up inside a private property! Those people can easily sue you for breaking and entering, and that's the least of it.
I know, Ash. But I can't just leave things as they are. I've got to do something. I know you're not very fond of the rights. but they don't deserve it if something bad happens. Hannah most of all.
God damn it, Zach, I was worried.
Unexpectedly, he laughed. Not the half-hearted sort he makes when he is awkward or coming up with an excuse. A genuine one. Before my annoyance grows again, I snap at him, though, suddenly catching me in a headlock. His arms looping around my neck while he grinds his knuckles against my skull. Helpless, I squirm under his grip in protest. Even then, it's hard to do so when you're up against a 6-foot.
Zach!
Aw, he's worried. Why didn't you say so? That cool act ain't gonna fool me anymore.
Let go!
He relents soon enough, only after he's done ample damage in my hair. I hate it when he does that. But for a few moments there, tense mood finally lightened up. Everything felt like how it used to be before this whole mess began. Makes appreciating little moments like this easier still.
Seriously, Zach, why are you even there?
Told you already. I was looking for you.
Why would I even go there?
Well, you mentioned a plan with Isabella here. I assume that's where you guys went, since that's where she found the letter. Sorry, I was really at a dead end.
The logic in it stuns me into silence, to say the least. Then I remember his hesitance, the tone he has taken before agreeing to go there, and all at once my anger from what he's done wanes. Partly this is my fault for keeping things vague. I can't berate him for assuming that, when I only left him with vague answers.
You could have called me.
I did.
I didn't receive any and my phone was with me.
You're kidding, right? I was at it the whole night.
The whole atmosphere in the room changes in 2 heartbeats. Back again to the tension riddle one plaguing us. Zachary stares at me like I'm groaning on the head, but gradually shifts his attention to Isabella. Expression in his eyes, questioning, asking for confirmation, like my word can't be trusted. Not that I'm holding it against him. Can't even believe the things coming out of my mouth these past few hours. Meanwhile, Isabella stays quiet. Has it been like that for quite some time? She looks like she wants to disappear right now. Guilt, frustration, anger, fear, all of the flashes fleeting across her face before it melts away on an expression of worry.
Please tell me he's joking. You were there?
No, we really didn't get any. Everything was quiet last night. But Zach, at BRC, Ashton and I saw...
We never yet to finish that.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Bad guys watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
I hope that my phone rings
Bad guys watch
again,
out, can't
playing its
beat
better
me.
saying
Looking for
ringtone
trouble?
throughout the
Better not
whole
lie.
room.
I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Both of them
Sup,
pauses,
I'm
waiting,
Ash from
and I
Deluxe
pull it
City.
up to
Bad
check
guys
the
watch out,
caller
can't
ID.
beat me. Looking for trouble?
I'll tell her to get here as soon as she can. Excuse me.
I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
With another word, I slip out of the room and answer the call. However, the tone she assumes isn't what I'm hoping to hear.
Ashton, are you there?
Ragged, a bit out of breath, there's a ting of urgency in it. Listening to her from my side of the line makes it seem like she has just run a marathon prior to this call.
Becca, where?
I got your message. What happened?
God damn it. I have a wound there.
Nothing. Yet? Where are you?
Downtown. I had to make a quick visit to the library. Listen, Ash, about that thing Isabella has been talking about. There's something you guys need to...
Please tell me you didn't... Whatever. Save it for later. I'm at Salemwell. If you can get here as soon as possible, that'd be really great. This is... related to that.
You're there? Is Isabella with you?
Yeah, Zach too.
With a quick press of the button, I switch on the loudspeaker and step back into Isabella's apartment. I hold the phone towards the two, giving it 2 shakes, urging them to speak. Both are still carrying worried looks on their faces. This should ease that.
Rebecca's asking for you two.
Becca? Is she okay? Hey, Becca!
Hello, Rebecca. Odd morning we having, eh?
Hey, you two. What's happening over there? Is this something I should be worried about?
Yanni Beast, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing?
Here, please hurry.
Doing alright?
I don't like the sound of that, Ash. But I'm on my way. Give me a few minutes. I'm driving.
The mumbles a goodbye, then hangs up. Becca's the last person I need to account for. Yet that call left an even more strained tension in the room. Thankfully, we don't have to linger in it for too long. It only takes a matter of minutes to get here. The second she steps into the room, Isabella clings to her.
I'm so glad you're okay. Ashton checked on you this morning, but... He did? I'm sorry, I was in a hurry. I didn't have time to drop by and let you know.
It doesn't matter. What's important is you're here.
No burned, just crisp or brutally murdered somewhere. Oh, alive. Although she seems a bit shaken. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. At least now I can relax, ease the pressure off my shoulders, only by some. But the minute Isabella pulls away from her, she winces. Small reaction, the younger woman doesn't even catch it. It sets the precedence for a careful observation, nevertheless. A closer look at her reveals a much more disheveled as usual. Hair in a bit of a mess, probably flattened in a hurry. Back of her dress also shown stains of dirt in places it rarely gets into. She's also leaning more on using her left arm. She's right-handed. Perhaps most telling, the slight limp she has, noticeable once Isabella leads her into the room. It all sprouts a heartful of question. What exactly happened and how she ended up in that state? Pretty sure a simple trip to the library won't do that. I grab her arm before she can walk past, carefully to avoid hurting her, in case there's really an injury. Seems like it at the first glance, but you can't be sure until a careful examination has been made. I suspect some bruising at least. Although minor internal fractures are out of the equation, they have a nasty way of staying hidden. Yes, I did like the Toki Toki Literature Club. What fun! But after this game, I will play GTA 5. Sure enough, Becca tenses immediately upon contact. Tries to pull back, but for the sudden gesture only elicit another wince, forcing her and Isabella to a halt. Both of them turn to me almost at the same time, their eyes searching mine for answers. Rebecca, for her part, doesn't appear pleased with the interruption, or the fact someone has brought it to light.
You okay? You're limping.
As expected, she tries to hide it. This time, when she squirms away from my grasp, it's with enough force, she almost stumbles back if Zack hadn't caught her with the elbow. Even with 2 more people shooting her concerned look, it's swift to shrug it off.
It's fine. I just had a little accident.
Little accident? Hard to believe when her other arm's nursing the supposedly fine arm. Isabella doesn't buy any of it either.
In a library? Well, yeah. It kinda caught me off guard.
Something's happened there, hasn't it?
I don't have to elaborate the question further. Surely she goes very still. The hand placed over her right arm shifts ever so slightly, its grip on the limb tightening. Not too firm to hurt, but just enough for the gesture to comfort for herself. Warily, she cast a glance at everyone in the room, but only the one she spares for Isabella lingers longer, and in that moment, something unspoken passes between them. An understanding. Strikes me a second later how utterly familiar her expression is. It's the same one I've seen far too many times in Isabella. Since that day at the movie house, every time she attempts to warn us, have been so rudely dismissed.
Let me see.
Can we? We have to check if it's bad.
Rebecca hesitates for a moment. Then after a minute of consideration, she sighs and reaches for the hem of the sleeve, raises it enough for Isabella to take a good look at it. Not swollen, but a large portion of her skin started to turn an ugly shade of purple.
Oh, that is gonna be one hell of a nasty bruise.
Tell me about it. It was a library cart that hit me. You know, the old metal ones they keep near the history section.
Ouch! Like I said, nasty.
But she's there? She went after you. Yeah, I was in the archives, looking something up. Suddenly, she was just there. Well, she was using my own students against me. What kind of terrible person does that? Oh, it makes my blood boil.
You should have just ran. That woman's not something you can hit with a book.
Laugh it up, Ashton. I did. Then the bloody cart came out of nowhere. And you know what? If it weren't for a damn book, I would be dead by now.
Silence descends in the room as the gravity of that one word hits all of us. Dead. Another close call. Another would have. Another one we have narrowly avoided. How long can we keep this up? We are bound to break at one point. No normal human being in the sane mind can at least like this. The miracle Isabella hasn't cracked yet. Eric I.N. Welcome to stream, mate. How are you doing? Doing alright? After all, this was the one who found that letter. I expected her to have caved in by now. Yet her voice, calm and composed in the face of death, it was cut through the thick air.
I'll go get a cold compress for that arm. You guys take a seat first. Ashton and I, we have a lot of things to talk about.
That marks the end of it. At least for the time being. And as soon as Isabella returns and hands Rebecca the cold compress we promised, we get straight down to business. Surprisingly easy, considering the rigid air in the room. Although there was some tense fumbling for words at first, the whole conversation gains steam once what happened last night at BRC has been put on the table. Dragon, ever since I was in the Subnautica stream, I knew I was going to love you, like your streams. When I feel sad, I watch your streams, and you cheer me up. Thank you. And hope you get to 1,000 subs. Well, I hope so too, Johnny Beast. And thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And I will be here every day, for the most part. Beside when the days I'm gone. Because sometimes I need to go visit my father, mother, or you know, Christmas celebration, or things like that. Then I need to go away. But I always have videos prepared. Because I always plan to have one video each day out. One stream or one video. But I will be here years and years from now. As long as I don't die or lose my PC. Something like that. All at once, everything we brushed off, carelessly ignored and rudely dismissed, been laid out for close scrutiny. Jack's encounters with the woman and his dreams. Rebecca's close bruises with Steph every time she appears. The dread, the fear, the terror she brings out when the bravest of us. Everything. Because no matter how bleak this all seems, there must still be a way out of it is. There has to be. Logic be damned. Or at least that's what Isabella and I would like to believe. Yet, even as the cold morning light shifted the warm hues of left afternoon and eventually night, none of this still makes a fucking damn sense. Darkness has fallen, but we're still nowhere near figuring things out. If anything, we're more at a loss than we ever been before we even started this. Next thing I know, frustration rears its ugly head. This sheet of paper I've been holding smacks the table harder than I intended. None of it echoes loudly in the small room. Everyone simply falls silent. Along with it is a release of another long-held breath. Perhaps the 100th sense this morning.
We aren't getting anywhere at this rate.
Don't just drop it. There must be something in this we aren't seeing yet.
To be honest, they are looking at the wrong thing. It's not the letter, it's the curse. It's the building itself. It's an odd thing to hear from her. The very words I've been telling myself every single time I find myself facing a dead end. We can use a little of the optimism right now, I guess.
I know, but what are we supposed to be looking at here in the first place?
Well, we already looked through those files. You're the one that picked it out last night, right?
All of them? I'm pretty sure every person we've checked in there isn't necessarily involved. One client possibly died of old age. Remember, you found that dumb paper.
Not so dumb if it can kill all of us.
Well, I can try out Fortnite someday. But right now, Beast, may I ask you like this one? Would you like to see me play a game that I enjoy? Or do you want to see me play a game that I don't enjoy or like at all? So, will you like to see me play a game I enjoy? Or shall you want to see me a game I don't enjoy playing? That's another question. One, yours.
Very funny, Z-Man. Anyway, like I said, you discovered that paper right before the open house. No one else was allowed inside during that time. It's too broad of a scope if we include every single person. In fact, the only notable ones are C and Jean-Marie.
Yeah, I want you to enjoy games. And Johnny Beast, look into your heart. You will find the answer there. If you're going to include them in the count, well, then there have been more than enough people to end this damn curse already. How does this thing even work?
Yeah, okay. They went in and out of this place. But no, you still don't get it. What I'm trying to say about those clients is...
Shouldn't we look into the mansion too? That's where the letter came from. That's where she came from. Maybe it's just as the professor says.
He did tell me there might be more to this than what I might be thinking.
Yeah. I mean, look at all this stuff Rebecca brought with her. Apparently our teachers have been lying to us all these years. So who knows?
Hey, now don't blame us. Blame the bloody books they wrote.
Apparently, Isabella reaches for one of the papers Rebecca has brought with her, carefully inspect the words printed on the page. A copy of an old newspaper in print, from even before the city has been founded. Her eyes narrows with each line it passes, and lingers at the illustration of the noblewoman's servant.
Why do they have to keep this in the restricted section?
Rebecca merely strikes at her inquiry, and her own annoyance seeps through her answer.
How should I know? I wasn't even aware we have archives that go as far back as this.
This is before the city was even founded.
Oh my.
As a matter of fact, if it weren't for Andrew's help, I wouldn't have gotten my hands on any of it. Maybe they didn't think it would be important to talk about it. After all, this is more Anselm's than ours.
That or some old bugger's hiding something.
Why else will this tell a completely different story? Revising what's written seems a useless endeavor on its own, and they have nothing to gain from it. But this might as well mean that what happened in that mansion years ago also equates into all of this. The letter Isabella found is at the heart of it. The why and the how is what we're missing here. If I'm going to go by what Andrew told Zach, the connection between the letter and the mansion curse may run deeper than what we initially thought. We won't be able to figure this out without looking into the other. What? How do I? The mansions are private property now. Can't just waltz in there. I'd rather die before I even think of begging right to let me in and investigate the place. One thing's very clear after these last 2 days, however. We're not safe anywhere, and I have to act fast if I want to keep my own friends alive. We can't keep running away. Sooner or later, she'll get us. Before that happens, I have to put an end to this. Sighing, I stand up and stretch out the kinks in my back after several hours of sitting. We've been at this for too long. A break is needed. Time to let everything sink in, or else we'll all burn out. I know I will. There's another thing I cannot let happen. They all counting on me like this. Albeit unspoken, in their eyes as they look up at me. Waiting.
We've been at this since morning. We should take a break for a few.
The rest of it never makes out of my mouth. As something heavy, grating sounds. I cannot read because something popped up on my screen. There's something heavy and grating sounds from the far end of the room. A harsh booming noise rending through the eardrums of everyone in the room. All at once, 3 of them are on their feet. I quickly palm from a gun on the table. However, before I can pull it up, remove the safety, the whole racket stops. Stillness descends in the room. Amidst the sudden hush, 4 of us exchange anxious glances. So much for a break.
Ashton, that might be...
Gather everything.
No question asked. They waste no time getting to work, hunting up the documents we've been reading through. When Isabella's unusual silence, as she gathers everything in her arm, her own movements sharp and precise, deep furrow in her brow. There's fear, but something hardened, arrogant overshadows it. But the moment doesn't last. Before we can even finish, another noise ups the tension already gripping the place. Suddenly the lights go out. The wardrobe at the end of the room rattles, as if something inside begs for freedom. Cautiously, eyes glued to it, take a step forward, and release the lock from my gun. I'm no trigger-happy person. I'm not even sure if this works on a ghost. But right now, its smooth surface against my palm, with the trigger on my finger, provides the closest thing I have to relief as I approach the closet.
Ashton, what are you doing?
I don't think that's a good idea. We should just...
Worried as they all are, they immediately stop at the slight raise of my hand. But the edge is there, while they are holding the space between the door and the room. In case of this goes south, whatever I find inside, I might have enough time and space to run from the position. Took a deep breath, across the room and stood in front of the closet. Whatever is inside has yet to stop crashing. Instead, it has now moved to banging at the door, louder and louder the longer I daily. Another shallow breath. Glance at my companions and nod. So, we will stop it here, I guess. Because I don't want to yet get... No, I'm just kidding, we're not stopping here there. Carla James, good morning to you. And welcome to the stream, Carla James. Happy to have you here. That you will come in this exact moment when something horrible is happening. Then, in the next moment, I'm grasping at the handles, swinging the doors wide open to reveal... nothing. Right away, a parted clothes hanging on it, and still none. No ghost. No woman. Not a single trace of whoever's inside. Confused, I glanced back towards my companions, only to see them mirroring the same expression on my face. The noise has finally stopped. I'm quite sure it isn't my imagination. Or maybe it is. I'm just too strung up that my head's now making things up. Whatever the case is, we need to get out of here as soon as possible. This only confirmed we aren't safe anywhere. Without bothering to close it, I moved back, ready to leave. Adrenaline now coursing through every vein in my body. In the next second, I'm barking orders and...
We should go. Everyone, we need to...
And... I stand sprawling on my back as something catches my ankle and yanks. This insulting fault knocks the wind out of me. Ping wrecks my whole spine, the back of my head as it collides against the floor. It's force enough to dislodge my own brain from my skull. A moment lasts before stars fade from my vision. And then, I sense it. Cold tendrils twisting around my ankles. Smell of wild rot assaulting my nose. Nauseating, thickening. A full smell, draining every feeling in my body. The moment her horrid laughter, still as so pleasant and vicious as the last time I heard it, reached my ear and my eyes snapped open. Perhaps it's just experience. Oh my. Perhaps it's just inexperience. Or maybe my mind still attempting to comprehend this. Regardless, the minute my eyes land on her, the whole of my body freezes. The gun in my hand turns useless as my grip on it slackens. It's in the manner her gaze bores on me, I'll say. A look of utter hatred and malice I've seen it loads of times. On suspects, mostly murderers, who never regretted their action despite being caught. This is the face of someone you can no longer reason with. And I know, the moment she laughs again, start dragging me towards her, it's already gonna to be...
Ashton, snap out of it!
No, I can't die here, not yet. The hate fades from my mind and my instinct kicks in, then it's there.
Out! Get out! Get out here!
With one powerful tug, I yank my foot out of her grip, and move back to my feet, ignoring the piercing wails she fills the room with. It's the span of a second. I'm gunning for the door, grabbing the wrist of the first person my hand can reach, leading everyone out. Into the hallway, on a flight of steps, right inside my car. I waste no time flooring on the gas pedal. Second, the last person closes the door behind them. And in a short while, driving us out of Salem well. I don't even entertain the thought of winding down just yet. Even as the last of the woman's painful cries fade into the night. A dreary downpour starts off the Monday. Although it doesn't last for more than an hour, dark clouds lift just after the sun peeks over the horizon. Brief as it is, the rain has significantly dampened the park's usual sheer vibe. Morning like this often marks the start of another bad week. An arrest gone wrong, another investigation leading to a dead end, or some truly fucked up shit being called in. Like that one time I was dispatched to a scene where a guy gouged his own eyeball out and almost ate it. Was a few chews away from swallowing it. In fact, I lost my dinner that way.
Fun times.
Of course, I doubt anything can top being cursed by a damn chain letter, of all things. This is the sort of stupid thing people pass along as prank through emails and text messages. For fuck's sake. Those chasing after you is put the icing on that cake. So far, all we've done is run, snoop about, read stuff, run again, frustrate me to no end. We're still no closer to an answer. Even my car reflects the state of my mind is in. Photocopies of documents litter every available surface, scattered all over the place, spilling from the passenger side and into the back seat. Again, an entire mess. What little space there is. Not that I'm any better. My last shower was 24 hours ago. I haven't slept at all. My last meal was that chocolate porridge thing Isabel offered. The way I am now, I'll definitely get the scolding. Rebecca will definitely give me an earful, tell me to take care of myself. Say that I'm killing myself on the job. I can already hear Isabella's complaining how dark bags under my eyes are getting, and about how I reek. How I need to shower pronto.
I can rest easy when this is all over.
Not that I can feel the pang of hunger. Is that woman chasing after you? It's difficult not to feel anything other than horror. The rush of adrenaline coursing through my veins, my desperation to survive. In fact, I can still sense the ghost of her touch last night. Her bony digits wound daggily around my ankle, the horrid smile that she has on her as she pulls me closer. Memory is enough to send a shiver up my spine, making me antsy. That's the only thing comforting about this is the sight of my gun nearby. From my dashboard, sunlight glints off Ophelia's surface. Normally I keep it hidden in the compartment. Luxmore police regulation only allow authorized people to carry firearms. Even those are limited. I do have that authorization, but I never really saw the need for its use. Since the standard issue tasers are more than good enough to incapacitate anyone. Not, I can always throw them on their back, those judo lessons that forced me to get the kid. It uses too. When I go though, all those things will probably yield the same results. They are all useless. I might as well use a stick! However, the feeling of ease I'm after. Or what little I can yet gather from it. Awareness that I, at least, Something to protect myself with, in case things go wrong. That I can still protect the people who are still depending on me, despite the missteps I've taken. Doesn't take the edge off though. Feeling that your whole body has been strained far beyond its capacity. Frankly, I'm already running out of steam. The only thing pushing me right now is knowing someone still depending on me. Stretch is still in order, though. Been sitting here since last night. Soon I step out of my car, closing it behind me with a thud, taking my surroundings. The rain did wonders. The morning air feels crisper and cooler than it has ever been in days. For one, the weather seems to be taking a turn to normal. Looks more normal in the distance. Beyond the building lining on the horizon, dark clouds blowing in.
Storm might be due this evening, give or take.
A shame for the people looking forward to Halloween tonight. I'm just not sure whether this is something I can look forward to as well. I still bask in the change it brings. Inhale, exhale, living in, taking in its peace as it will be my last. As it is with all good things, quite shortly comes to an end. Not necessarily a better end. Chatter reaches my ears first, holding my movements. Sure enough, when I glance up, I find them. Jack, Rebecca, and Isabella, just as they enter the park grounds, bags of convenience store food in hand. After last night's flight from Solomwell, we elected to stay the night here. Not sure if our own homes will still be safe. Normally, we all be adverse to the idea of spending night outside like this, but panic and distress has tainted that decision. Not like any of us has gotten an ounce of sleep anyway. The off chance one of us did only lasted but a second, or it's a fitful one. I'm looking at them right now, from far. It's easy to mistake them for just a group of friends on the day out. Isabella guessing wildly in her arms as she talks. Nothing funny or amusing, probably because some followed by Zach's booming laughter, Rebecca's giggles. The voices fill the atmosphere with light air, temporarily easing off the disheartening mood. Easy to pretend we're not deep in life and death situation. They are acting now. If anything, it's only their appearance that betray that mask. Slightly disheveled, backs under their eyes, an exhausted curve their shoulders, and dragging footsteps. The closer they get, the more obvious signs are to the naked eye. Jack tosses an energy drink my way. The moment the distance allows it. Isabella hands me the other bag she's holding, for seating herself on the edge of the fountain. Scent of warm food immediately wafted from the bag when I open it, carried further by a passing breeze. Never sweet sausage drizzled for this pork wannabe smells heavenly. Hell, even the sorry-looking vegetable seems appetizing. Despite myself, without even checking exactly what it is, hunger swiftly takes over every rational thought. I dig in without waiting for them to start. The rest of them appeared to be of the same mind too. Soon enough, they also start with tears. No casual talk while we feel an empty stomach. Exhausted as we all are, food is something we cannot forgo. Starvation dulls the thinking, weakens the body. If we are to survive this, we have to take care of ourselves first. In a matter of minutes, we're done and dumping the empty cartons in a nearby waste bin, along with it is shift in the mood. Back to this small, back to the problem at hand. Comfortable atmosphere from minutes ago was nice while it lasted. Admittedly, I miss this kind of moments between us. We never had a chance. Always busy on some project or work. Things we're taking for granted. Now we realize how valuable they are. The world has an awful sense of humor. While the one we just had is short-lived, another thing I want to look forward to. We ever free ourselves from this damn curse. I like to believe there's a way. For now, we have to focus back on the present. This, dead people, letter, curse. Not simple to bring this up, but necessary.
What now? Where do we go from here?
Not a question directed at anyone in particular, but they all look to me as if my face has all the answer in the world. I used to think so, back when I was at the top of my game, and I was still sure of everything. Now there's just uncertainty, solving whatever decision I come up with. At some point, logic has simply stopped working, and we started grasping at straws. Along with exhaustion, fatigue, and stress, we have enough kindling to get the fire burning. The not so pleasant kind of fire.
Well, first, we can't just stay here. That much is obvious. But we can't just keep running like this either, Becca. Sooner or later, she'll... As if we have a choice. We can't even go back to our own homes because that thing might get us.
Right.
No, we're safe. But dying is the last thing I want to do right now, Isabella. Not to a stupid chain letter you were too gullible to pick up, bring with you, and show to everyone. I didn't do it on purpose. Becca, had I known, I wouldn't have.
Hey, you two. None of us want to die to this. Just calm down. We ain't getting anywhere shouting at each other.
Whose side are you on, Zachary?
No one's. But we can't just say it's her fault. She did warn us not to open it, and both you and Ashton...
That doesn't exempt her from any blame. She's still largely responsible for it.
And what are you gonna do about it?
And you're not? I didn't say that! Do you really think I don't blame myself for this as well? I tried to warn all of you. None of you listened. Now you're blaming me for something I kept telling you guys since day one? You're just as responsible for this as I am. So now you're throwing it back at us? We wouldn't even be having this problem if you're...
Will you two cut it out? This ain't the place for I don't know, petty squabbles.
If you don't want to get caught in it, then stay out of this, Zachary. Oh no, Zach. Don't stop her. Let her say it. I'm sure she has plenty more to say. If I didn't know any better, she's already... Already what? You want me to say it? Out loud? That I find you in this whole thing?
All right, that's enough! Everyone, shut up!
They all folded to silence at my words. An awkward, stifling mood descends between us. I do not mean to shout, to snap at them, to add to their kindling. Not in a moment when, anytime, anywhere, she might get one of us. We are all in the same boat. Yet here we are, playing the blame game. Little by little, we're falling apart, craving into the pressure, the bleak situation we're trapped in. Did that ghost mean for this to happen? To Dwight each of so she can pick up so many words, but goddammit! Dwight ease off so she can pick us off one by one right after, who knows? Anything's possible now if her kind can exist. With the fire burning between us, rising and high, as it does now, I'm afraid. Definitely afraid. That the possibility might come sooner than I figure out all of this out. Fuck. I still can't think straight. I can't even believe the next words coming out of my own mouth. But out of everyone, I have to be the one saying these to them. This is more their fault than mine. Keeping the peace, placating everyone, while I unintentionally aggravate people with badly chosen words. Funny how fast the tables have been turned to just one unfortunate incident. How am I even supposed to cope?
If we all want to get out of this mess in one piece, we're gonna have to cool our heads first.
Before my own temper flares, I walk away and slide back into my car. The door slams with more force than needed. I like to blame the pent-up anger boiling up in me. I'm not even sure what or who I am angry at. Ghost, at them, maybe myself for being this useless. Because despite none of them saying it, I know. Now, goddammit, they are still counting on me. In spite of my failures, or every harsh word I uttered, or how unbearable I can be as a friend, rare when the tension after the argument finally breaks. One by one, they follow me, get in the car. It's in the concerned glances they shoot my way, and I start the engine without a word, drive off. It's in their silence, heavy gift, their unwavering trust. Yet, it's one I'm more than willing to carry, even through my own exhaustion, only to keep them safe. In this city, 68,000 strangers, they are the only one I have left. Though, in all seriousness, a good rest is still our best bet for now. Thinking with an exhausted brain is almost as good as running around in circles. We might as well just throw ourselves at a ghost and be done with this. The local Irish pub might not be the best place to hang around when one hasn't slept a wink or when he's stressed. More often than not, it's loud. Sometimes the music played by drunkards grates the ears. The whole place smells like piss on a bad day. All in all, the very definition of the last place I'll hang out after a wakeful night. As safe as it can be, with key security watching the place. Making it easier to find help, in case you find yourself in a tight spot. The place being owned by a person I implicitly place my trust on provides some semblance of comfort too. Gregor, hard-ender Guy, or just Guy, his regular patrons, might be rough around the edges, sometimes a bit too gruff. For a man serving drinks behind the counter, but he belongs to the good folk of the city. If there's anyone in this place I can rely on to look after people important to me, probably him. Means well. Surprisingly, despite his surly demeanor, cares to some extent for people he likely only sees once or twice a week, or on a bad day. Not the best job in the world, in my opinion, but that's exactly it, isn't it? In wine, there is truth. Alcohol, in this case. Loosen the tongue. Forcing one to let his or her guard down. Whatever inhibitions one has, off flies straight out of the window after a few glasses. It has made him observant too. Always has one or two things to say about someone who's something. Most of the time it's me. Opinionated ass. But God knows how many times I asked for his help. I met with dead end in the case or I'm in trouble. This time it's no different. As expected, the moment we show up, kind enough to offer us a room at the back of his shop. Taking a look at my face, I don't even need to say anything. The next thing we know, he's leading us in. No question asked. Maybe it's also for the reason why I find myself drifting towards station hours later, after having gotten that much needed shut-eye. Newly washed drinking glasses, tumblers lines, counted surface when I entered the room. Behind the guard, he is busy wiping each of them clean, like they're prepping it for tonight's use. Briefly glances up at me. Once I claim one of the empty stools, grabs a rock glass, sitting closer to my elbow. Turning it absent-mindedly in my palm, I just keep my hands occupied while my brain's busy, trying to make sense of everything. Even at the dead hour, there's only a few patrons milling about. The place still smells strongly of liquor. Honestly, I've never grown fond of it. Regardless of how many times I made the trip or sat here, in the same spot, just talking with the old man. I've never been fond of drinking in the first place. Ah. Yet oddly, it's a nasty odor of a brewery that helps clear the mind this time. Along with the lack of establishment's usual hub-hub. Occasional clinging of glasses. Ah! Even more bizarre is that, for my lack of word, he doesn't say anything. Although it's clear from the way his mouth has curved in... Fucking high. Curved up in a tight frown that he has questioned. A bucket load of it. He wisely keep it shut. Instead, he simply focused back on his work. Then swipe, stash away, repeating. Come through the motions with such familiarity, almost a trance. Watching his precise movement quickly like this, is his thoughts swimming inside my head. Easy to lose track of everything around me. On a solid lead on this, no possible way to sort this out, but... Is anyone here? I only see one viewer though. I'm asking if anyone is here. Everyone gone. That work. But if my assumption is correct, the reason Seki was here yesterday morning because of the curse. No one is here. I will do whatever I can do to bring death upon all of these people inside the game. Something must have happened there for him. See the need to visit the place in the morning. What if the couple has fallen victim to the curse too? It doesn't fall outside the realm of possibility. I've been so biased, not even thinking that they might be in danger as well. During the open house with Isabella, might have seen the letter and... What?
Stupid, stupid, stupid. Some fucking detective I am.
That's likely the moment when Cooper saw it. The logic holds, I need to hurry there right away. And if there are answers anywhere, we'll be there. We'll be there. Where all of this the fudging mess started. Not only my life on the line here, there are others. What happened to us, I won't wish on anyone else. No matter how much I loathe them. Or how complicated all of this has suddenly become. Letter. That woman. Mentioned. Now there are voices lasting venom inside every crevice. My head murmurs that year scoff and deride whenever an opportunity presents itself.
Because you did this.
It's all your fault. Why won't you believe me?
A reminder of what I've failed to do, and of who I failed. At some point, they all begin to blur together, twining and coiling, every horrid image and memory of her, taking the forefront of my mind. No matter how much I refuse to remember the fear I felt then, as far back as I can. The visions come to me like a deluge. Before I know it, before I can drown, another voice pulls me out of it.
You're doing good there, boy.
Hand is on my shoulder, gripping it tightly, giving me a light shake. There's a relief in his face when I finally look up at him, although his frown appears more distinct than the concern in his eyes. Deeper now, marred with worry and agitation. He does let go. I offer him a small nod, but the furrow between his eyebrows never leaves his face. Yeah, I always have a knack of reading people, after all. And someone who can be as close off distance like me. All the time I spend in the force, there's only one other person has been keen as this old guy. Chief. Funny and weird to some degree. I pointed out to him so many times before, must they look alike? Only for the observation to be brushed off with a vehement tone. Please write in English. I've never brought it up again after the third time, out of respect for the guy. Whatever planning, but whatever it is, say that it's something he doesn't want to talk about. Why push it, right? However, during time like this, it's impossible for the thought not to come up, even as the glare down pad. It's wordless scrutiny. I feel like a damn rookie again.
You're looking a bit green. Sure you got plenty of rest back there? You were only out for an hour or two. Wouldn't hurt to try and get some sleep. I'll keep an eye out.
No need. Don't worry about me. I won't be able to get some sleep anyway.
Obviously her face still a clear picture in my head now.
I heard that from you before. Not buying it. What's the story this time? This as bad as that case with the guy who ate his own eyeball?
I wish it were. Jesus, stop reminding me. I hated that case.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you get a kick out of telling people about it.
It's useful, you know, for blokes who don't know their limits. Sends them right out the door after I start with a description. Or was it the part when the poor schmuck gouged his eyes out? Nasty, awful, icky stuff, and it gets the job done. Like I said, useful. Don't even need to call security these days if I want to kick someone out. Anyway, pretty sure that pales in comparison to whatever this is now. I haven't seen you this stressed out since I closed that case. The one from 10 years ago, with your professor friend.
Abigail and her team weren't able to solve that one, G. No one has been able to. It just went cold.
The real Andre, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing? Doing alright?
Same difference. But what do I know, eh? I just serve drinks, listen to people's problems and their whining, then make sure they get home safe afterwards. Thing is, I'm also not blind, kiddo. And you can bet your ass I can tell when a person's about to fall apart.
What? Is this some form of therapy from you? Are you going to offer me free drinks now?
Really, I can use some right now. Something to numb the senses. But when has that helped anyone?
In your dreams, kid. Last time someone gave you the hard stuff, your photographer friend had to haul you out of this place almost half naked.
Hey, I can handle my liquor when I put my mind to it.
Not from what I've seen, nope. Besides, you usually avoid drinking. Either way, it's out of the equation. And when booze no longer counts, we just talk. So, talk. It's not like anyone within earshot will care. That chap over there only wants his cricket matches.
I doubt you believe it, G.
I've heard worse stuff. Try me.
You know that mansion down at Anslum?
Yeah, who doesn't? You live in this town long enough, it's impossible not to hear a thing or two about it. Bloody locals.
Well, my friend found a primitive version of a chain letter in there. Now that we've seen it, we're cursed.
The beat passes. For a long moment, Guy stands there, unmoving. His hand stuffed short of placing the glass he's been wiping prior back to a rack on his left. all while he stares at me with eyes that are nothing short of scrutinizing. He probably assumes I'm joking. He wouldn't. Not a week ago, I would be being put in the same position. Even now, in spite of things I've seen and heard, simply won't sink in. Maybe this is just desperation creeping in. The idea that I may not be able to find a way out of this. Whatever the case is, people who hasn't experienced what I'm going through, this merely sounds like an awful Halloween prank.
It's not a prank.
Must have been what Isabella felt the whole time we made fun of her that day.
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Now it's too late. We're stuck in a never-ending nightmare. The only way out might be death. Like I expected, his reaction to it, an amused laughter, boomed throughout the whole pub, the long bout of silence. Like I've been told him a particularly funny joke.
Okay. Good one, kid. You don't want to spill. No one's forcing you. Seriously, though. Good one.
Although I want to be angry with him, I can't find it in myself. I can't even muster the energy for a skull or a glare. Nothing but the taste of my own medicine to temper the annoyance bubbling up in me. Suppose? In the end, echoing her words, best I can do.
It's not a joke.
Yeah, alright, good luck with that. You're on your own. Here I thought you didn't have an ounce of humor in that body. Guess I'm wrong.
He shakes his head, lets out another chuckle before returning to his task. By now, almost half of the glasses have been put away. The only ones remaining are the smaller kind used for shots, and stemmed ones for cocktails. Despite being busy with his task, his amusement does not entirely disappear from his face. He keeps talking as if I'm simply another customer he entertains with his stories. But we both know it's more than that. If the wistful expression on him tells them.
Man, can't believe you're the same rookie who walked in here almost a decade ago. Too smart for his own good, that boy. He's always been 2 steps ahead of things. Now he's here, sulking.
I must have screwed up somewhere then.
I must have screwed up a lot. Things to suddenly to shift like this. For me to become a mere shadow of the person I used to be.
No, I don't think so. This one, screwed up? Not by a mile. It's too early to say. You've still got several years ahead of you, Holmes. Take it easy. But some things change, eh? It has been years, and you were a kid back then. You know, the sort that's a bit unsure, making all the horrible decisions in life he'd eventually be embarrassed to talk about.
You never stopped calling me kid, though.
Well, you still are. It's just that this time, you're sure of who that badge and gun is for. What was it you police types usually say? To protect and serve, yeah?
A significant pause followed. I didn't see that. Significant pause follows at its heels. From both of us, as he allows the meaning to sink in and spur something in me, stirring a feeling both heavy and forceful, but not completely unwelcome, familiar. But before I can even clarify what he's trying to imply or gather my thoughts on the matter, he turns away, beginning his work with silverware. I'll need those too, once more of his patrons come in for lunch. Slow and easy. Sharp contrast with the strained air I've been wading through these past weeks. Fleeting moment, the one I allow myself to relish. Only because of this absence lately, the way things are now, this is almost a gift. But when it all ends, it's a loud shuffling on foot from the adjacent hallway. Sigh is all that leaves me. No need for me to look up Know who it is. Tech threads alone are telling. There's always a weight set to them. Steps that are taken with lazy cadence. God damn it. Well, save it here. I just don't know. But I would like to thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. We'll wish you all a good night. Good day, where we are. See you later. Bye.